everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Maine Morgue. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but it is the 20th episode of the Maine Morgue. And who would have thought 20 weeks ago that I would still be doing this show, happy with the results, and just really excited to be here to talk about the things that I talk about on a weekly basis. I want to say thank you to everybody who watches the show every week. The last two shows have no views on YouTube, and, that's okay. I expect that. I do want to say thank you to the fans that tune in every week and watch my Horror Pack indie movie reviews. Those are hugely successful here on the Maine Morgue channel on YouTube. So thank you all so much for watching the videos. I greatly appreciate it. Moving forward, I'm going to probably keep the format the way it is, with 5 segments each week. One thing I'm going to limit on the show from now on is talk about my wrestling career, which spanned from 1988 roughly to 2013 roughly. I think I retired officially in 2012. I might have had 1 or 2 matches in 2013. But you guys send a lot of wrestling questions, and there are a few this week in the fan mail section. But after this week, I will probably not answer those questions. So if you have questions about my wrestling career, you can email me at themainmorgue@gmail.com, and I will answer you directly instead of taking up time on the show where I could be talking about other things. Just a couple of quick announcements this week. Sins of Man Rise of Mortis is now available to purchase a digital copy on ibleedindie.com. You can purchase the digital copy for $10. I've talked about ibleedindie.com a few times on the show. And what it is you can rent movies for $2, or now you will be able to purchase them digitally for $10, and it is a 90-10 split between I Bleed Indie and film creators like myself. So that is a great way for you to support your favorite filmmakers or indie film in general, is by going to ibleedindie.com and purchasing the movies or renting them. Also, bullmoose.com and Bull Moose music stores here in Maine, you can purchase Sins of Man Rise of Mortis on DVD for a now lowered price of $9.97. Of course, if you order through bullmoose.com, you will have to pay a shipping charge. Bullmoose.com is only available in the United States, whereas ibleedindie.com is a worldwide seller. And yes, you will be able to get Sins of Man 2 Vengeance once it is released next Sunday, both on DVD for $9.97 from bullmoose.com or Bull Moose stores here in Maine, as well as ibleedindie.com. You can rent it for $2 or purchase it for $10. Either way is a great way to support Wicked Carnival Productions and indie film in general, and I would greatly appreciate you doing that. The $9.97 charge through Bull Moose will be the price for all future Wicked Carnival Productions films that are for sale through Bull Moose and bullmoose.com. It's part of the consignment deal where I put it on ibleedindie.com for $10. I have to sell it via Bull Moose for the same price. So that is the reason behind the price change. And yes, it is a holiday season, so please, if you have a horror fan on your list this year for gifts, consider picking up Sins of Man Rise of Mortis, as well as Sins of Man 2 Vengeance this holiday season for the horror fan in your life. All right, that being said, let's get into some movie talk, shall we, folks? All right, and I'm going to mix it up a little bit this week. I feel like I haven't been talking about my favorite TV shows, and I'm gonna do that this week after I talk about Frozen. And no, not that Disney movie with that horrible mind-bending Let It Go song. I hate that song. My daughter loves it. She has a toy. It's the Elsa doll who sings it, and she has a microphone so she can sing along. I hear that song every fucking night. Love her to death, Lily. I love you to death, Lily, but damn. So Frozen came out in 2010, was written and directed by Adam Green, who is a phenomenal filmmaker. I absolutely love the Hatchet series. But Frozen is something a little bit different. There's no killer with a hatchet hacking the shit out of people, which they really should have been. Would have been a much better film. Anyways, the acting I thought was amazing in this movie for what they had to do and the lengths that they had to go to do it. Very interesting story, little short synopsis. 3 skiers, snowboarders get trapped on a ski lift after convincing somebody to let them go up one last time on a run right before closing. They get stuck up there, devise a plan to get free and survive. And I really wish that there had been more to this movie than 3 people stuck on a ski lift for like 90% of the movie. It's a lot like Saw, how they're in that room all the time in the original Saw movie, and you're just like, what? There was more to it than that, and I think that's what they should have done here with Frozen. Shown the lodge workers partying at the local bar or whatever, just to break up the monotony of 3 people on a ski lift. During Dan's death, which is probably the coolest thing of the movie, my wife, who was sitting on the couch right over there, watching it with me, and wolves come out after Dan falls. He's trying to jump down and get help. He falls and breaks both of his legs, so he's very severely wounded. A pack of wild wolves come out and proceed to eat him in front of his girlfriend and his best friend. And during this scene, they kept showing their reactions up on the lift when down below Dan's being eaten by wolves. My wife says, no, go back down. I want to see Dan get eaten. That's awesome. And I understand in a low-budget movie with the CGI and all that stuff that would have to take place for that scene, that they couldn't do that, but it still would have been cool to see. And, I agreed with her. I really did. I thought it would be very cool to see that. The ending, I thought, was very good, but could have been more. And what I mean by that is she falls down because the safety winch catches. The thing plummets lower to the ground and stops, and she hits the ground hard, and she starts sliding down the mountain, pulling herself down the mountain, trying to avoid the wolves, of course. And she gets to the edge of the road, somebody saves her, and the movie just kind of ends right there and falls flat. I would have liked to have seen her make it to a hospital, be talking to doctors and police about what had happened on that mountain and how she survived. I thought that would be more interesting. Now, I realize that not every movie has a sequel, and that probably is why they ended it the way they did. There was probably never going to be a sequel to Frozen, and that's fine. But I thought there should just been a little bit more of the story. With that said, I gave Frozen a 3.5 out of 5 stabs because I did think it was a very interesting movie. I thought it was a good movie. The cast was amazing. By the way, I forgot to mention Shawn Ashmore, Emma Bell, and Kevin Zegers, I believe is how you say it. If not, I apologize. An amazing cast in this movie, and they did really good for what they had to do and what they had to work with. So that's all I have for movie talk this week. Next up, I'm going to do 3 of my favorite TV shows, and only one of them is a superhero show, so don't be giving me shit about talking about comic book shows, because some of you do that. Anyways, first up, yes, I'm going to get the superhero show out of the way. I want to talk about Arrow. The show is really getting going now. It's really hitting its stride with the 4-night crossover event airing from next Monday to next Thursday. I'm wicked excited about that. But Arrow specifically has me wondering who Prometheus is and what he's doing in Star City. I really enjoyed the twist last week with the new Canary. I know she has a different name. I can't remember it. I call her the new Canary because she wears the black mask and everything. She's helping Prometheus, so I wonder what's up with that and what's in store for the rest of the season for the new Team Arrow. Next up, I want to talk about Lethal Weapon, which of course is a take on the movie series of the same name. Amazing cast, very well written. I really like the exploration of the Martin Riggs character, who everybody knows from the movies, played by Mel Gibson in the movies. It was just a fucking wacko. He lost his wife and his unborn child, and that shit does something to you. And I like the budding relationship between Murtaugh and Riggs. And I like the relationship between Riggs and the therapist, which I think is an amazing dynamic for a show like that. I love the writing of this show, and I'm really, really hoping that they manage to get a season 2. It's kind of up in the air right now, I guess, in terms of the ratings. Lastly, this week on movie/TV talk, I want to talk about the show Conviction, which airs on ABC. It stars Haley Atwell, as many Marvel fans will know, as Agent Peggy Carter, who was in the first Avenger movie, Captain America. And she made a small cameo appearance in Avengers 2? 3. No. She was in both Avengers movies, I think, in a small little cameo role. And she passed away in Civil War, I think it was. I don't know, I only saw Civil War once. Anyways, Shawn Ashmore is also in this series, which is kind of funny if you think about it, because Shawn Ashmore played Bobby/Iceman in the last 2 original X-Men movies of the original trilogy. So you have Agent Carter and Iceman working together in the Conviction Integrity Unit. So I think that's kind of a cool thing for Marvel fans. And, the casting in this show is awesome. The stories are awesome. Very well written. Very funny. And I think, along the same lines of Scream Queens, some of the dialogue that they have Haley Atwell's character saying is very funny, very risque for somebody that you remember as Agent Carter. So I think it works on many levels. And I'd say my favorite thing about Conviction is the transition shots. If you don't watch the show for anything else, DVR an episode or go back and watch it on demand, and the transition shots in this show are fucking amazing. I wish I could do something like that. Chris, if you're watching this show, look into it. Let's make that shit happen. I think it would really set us apart from other film companies. All right, next up, I'm going to answer 6 fan mail questions. Here we go. What is your favorite part of each sport that you watch? I found this question very interesting. And it's somebody that asks a lot of questions in my email, and I thought I'd answer this one this week. My favorite part of baseball has to be the fielding and the pitching. And I really love watching the base running when it's a tense situation, close game, and you're not quite sure if that runner on first is going to steal second. Football, I would have to say it's watching the quarterback do his job. But by that I mean watching him go through his progressions of which receiver is the open receiver and deciding whether or not to take that shot down the field or to just throw the ball away. In basketball, I love the alley-oop plays. I think they're just amazing to have that timing down with your teammates. Hockey, I just love everything about hockey. The fast pace of the game. I love the shooting on the net. It's very interesting to see how they do it, where they do it. My absolute favorite player is Sidney Crosby of the Pittsburgh Penguins. The man is very good at what he does. Next up, what is your favorite thing about filmmaking? And this is a question I get a lot, and I've probably given 50 different answers. But when it all boils down to it, my absolute favorite part of filmmaking is having the opportunity to give opportunity. And what I mean by that is hiring an actor or an actress that is just looking for an opportunity. And when you do that, when you cast somebody that's new or never been in a movie before but has come from stage acting, they're just looking for an opportunity. And I was just looking for an opportunity a year and a half ago when I started this crazy adventure. And those people on that first movie have grown to be like family to me. I know I can count on them. And I'm going to do something really strange most of the time. I'm probably going to call on them when it's time to make another movie after the Sins of Man trilogy. because for the most part, I've been very lucky with the casting that I've been able to put together. So giving opportunities to actors and actresses and camera people and effects people is my favorite part of filmmaking. And I really enjoy making the films too, don't get me wrong, but it's giving that opportunity to somebody that is just looking for that, just an opportunity to prove themselves. That's my favorite part. Moving on, and this next one is a 4-part question. Dress shoes or sneakers? Sneakers. Boxers or briefs? Honestly, neither if I can help it, but if I'm going to a function or I need to look nice, I feel better if I'm wearing boxers. I feel more complete. Dress shirts or polo shirts? To be honest, I prefer polo shirts because I like being able to show off my tattoos. Last part of this, jeans or dress pants? Anybody that has seen me out in public or at an event or on set as the director, you'll notice that I wear a nice pair of jeans, a nice t-shirt, and a suit coat. So almost always you'll see me wearing jeans. Next question. When you were a kid, were you a Hulkamaniac? And what match defines your love for wrestling? I am assuming you mean a professional match, so I'll get to that in just a second. No, I was not a Hulkamaniac when I was a kid. I was a fan of Nature Boy Ric Flair and a fan of The Ultimate Warrior. And pretty much anybody that fought Hulk Hogan, because I fucking hated Hulk Hogan as a child. Funny story, Hulk Hogan was here in Maine doing an appearance at Funtown Splashtown, USA to promote his daughter Brooke's first CD. And it was right around that time that my father passed away. My stepfather, who raised me from the time I was 8 on till he passed away. And he always thought I just hated Hulk Hogan because I was jealous of him. So I said, you know what? For my dad, I'm going to go meet Hulk Hogan. I'm going to look him in the eye. I'm going to shake his hand. So I went there. We were like 5th in line. I got up to the front of the line. I handed him my picture that I brought from a magazine. And he told his daughter this cute little story about the belt that was in the picture. And that was the first one that he'd won from the Iron Sheik way back at the birth of Hulkamania. And I said, thank you, Hulk, for signing my picture. Thank you for doing this event. I stuck my hand out. He shook my hand. And as I walked away, I looked up and I said, there, Dad, I buried the hatchet. Because I never liked Hulk Hogan. Even when he was with NWO, Too Sweet Brother, I didn't like him. I liked him better when he was a heel, I'll say that much, but never really a Hulkamaniac fan. So I guess you could say I liked the NWO Hogan more than I liked the Hulkamania Hulk Hogan. And as far as the match that defines my love for professional wrestling, I would have to say, without a doubt, WrestleMania 3, Randy Macho Man Savage defending the Intercontinental Championship against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. That is the match that pops into my head whenever I think of WrestleMania. In terms of later on as a fan, as a teenager, I would have to say that my favorite match would be the Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12 between Bret the Hitman Hart and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship, or the WWF Championship at the time, in the Iron Man match. Moving on, next question. When you wrestled, who was your favorite opponent, favorite partner, least favorite opponent, and least favorite partner? Like I said earlier, I'm not going to answer wrestling questions so much during fan mail from now on, but here we go. My favorite opponent would have to be Nightwalker Eddie Ramsey, because we could go out there and just tear it up week after week after week, title on the line, no title on the line. We just wanted to see who the better wrestler was, and we could go out there and wrestle 30, 40, 50 minutes, 60 minutes. My favorite match of all time was a 60-minute Iron Man challenge between myself and Eddie, and we tore the house down for 64 minutes. It was an amazing match, an amazing experience, and just one of the many reasons I loved wrestling. As far as my favorite partner, I would have to say Eddie Ramsey was my favorite partner as well. Not only because we were the most successful team in WCCW history, having held the tag team championships on 5 different occasions, not because we were the most, we had the longest title reign. Eddie and I were undefeated for 6 years in tag team championship matches. Eddie was my favorite partner because we could go out and wrestle for the tag team championships, win the tag championships, and then 3 matches later in the main event, tear the house down, try to kill each other, all because we wanted to be the best. My least favorite opponent, there were 2, and they were for 2 different reasons. Number 1 would have to be Josh Holbrook, who didn't care about the show, didn't care about the match as long as he won. Didn't care about the promotion. All he wanted to do was be the heavyweight champion all the time. Never wanted to lose to anybody. Never wanted to wrestle anybody. He was stripped of the title 5 times in the short time he was with the company. It was just miserable trying to work with him. On the other side of that coin, I would have to say Indestructible Lucian Bernier was my least favorite opponent because, well, his name is Indestructible. And that name fits him very fucking well. You could hit him, chop him, try to knock him down. If you knocked him down, put a submission hold on him, he'd just kick out. I put him in half Boston Crab in one of my last matches. And that son of a bitch pushed up on his hands and knocked me through the ropes onto the floor, down, and just out with his leg strength. And he picked me up and powerbombed me. And my dumbass, 1, 2, got my shoulder up. So he picks me up by my hair, jackknifes me again. 1, 2, 3. I thought I was fucking dead. Because the man's 375 fucking pounds. 6 feet tall. That's a long fucking way down. On a mat that gives no give. As far as my least favorite partner, and bro, I'm gonna throw you under the bus. And by the way, Lucian Bernie and I are still best friends to this day. We've been best friends since freshman year high school, and that's never gonna change. But as far as my least favorite partner, like I said, bro, I'm gonna throw you under the bus. Skip Richards is by far my absolute least favorite partner. Now, keep in mind, I'm a 9-time tag team champion with 5 different partners. And Big Thunder Richards, as his ring name was, Skip Richards, in our first title defense on one of our very first shows, gives up in the middle of the ring, in the middle of a match, for no apparent reason. Just gave up, and we lost the tag belts. And to this day, I never let him live that down. We always talk about it, like every time we're together. And I've been friends with him since freshman year of high school. He's older. He's one of my friend's uncles. But I never let him forget that. And lastly, this week, wrapping up fan mail, another 2-part question. You guys love the 2, 3, 4-part questions for some reason. But here we go. How do you handle fame, and how do you handle haters? Fame is something that I never really wanted. I just wanted to simply make movies and be happy to make movies. Fame is a part of it. Fame is something that you learn to live with. I'm, as I say, small town famous. People in Bridgeton, Naples, Casco, Raymond, Wyndham, Scarborough know who I am. I'm very popular in Europe for some unknown reason. I don't know if it's because Europeans love American horror or what. I have tons of followers on Twitter from Europe. And I look at fame like this. You're taking the time to watch my movie or to reach out to me on social media. The least I can do is talk to you, sign a business card for you, take a picture with you. You guys are what makes me famous. I didn't do it on my own. I need your help to do that. And, you know, I love interacting with you guys. I love doing the show, being able to talk to you guys every week. It's my outlet to talk to you guys. That's why I answer the fan mail on the show here. And fame to me is something that I've earned and that will grow as I make more movies and things like that, as I do more shows. And I will always do my best to interact with every fan that I can, because I love you guys. You guys are the reason my name is out there. You guys are the reason that my movie flies off the shelf at Bull Moose. I actually had to just go down there and bring more DVDs down there today and arrange for the price drop and all that stuff. So I handle fame like I'm not famous. I handle fame like I'm just like all of you, because I am. When it all boils down to it, I've said it a million times, I'll say it a million more. When you look at me, I'm Jamie Santamore, horror fan, as well as Jamie Santamore, indie horror filmmaker. Now, as for the second part of that question, how I handle haters, to be honest, I don't pay attention to them. I used to get mad, I used to get frustrated, and then I just talked to Chris about, I got this email and and he's like, screw them. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know what you do on a daily basis to get your movie out. They don't know what it takes to do what you do. It's those that can do, those that can't criticize. And once he said that to me, it was like, okay, enough with the haters. I don't care anymore. So that is my 6-pack of questions this week for fan mail. Next up, I'm going to give you guys an update on my latest slasher script. And I'll tell you, last week I talked about how I was 40 pages, roughly 40 pages short of a feature film. The script came out to 43 pages from all my notes, going from outline to script format. And I struggled with it for a few days, I'm not going to lie, I really did, because I wasn't sure how to go about extending the story. Should I just try to fill things in on the 43 pages that I already have, or should I start from scratch? I ended up starting from scratch. I got a notebook, started writing notes, I changed a few things, I added a few things. And then one afternoon I was writing, and I'm like, oh, this is good, I like this, I'm going along, right? And all of a sudden, just boom, just a stroke of genius. I'm like, what if we did that? That would change everything and probably give me more scenes to work with. So I started working it out, and one thing I decided early on during the rewrite process is that I would fuck with the rules a little bit. And if Sins of Man is any indication to you guys, I like to fuck with the rules. And I don't care about the repercussions, because to me it's a calculated risk. I'm taking a calculated risk with this next project that I'm writing currently, where I've changed things that you wouldn't necessarily expect somebody to change in a slasher movie, but I've done it. It's a calculated risk, and if you guys shit all over it, I know to go back to the old ways. But you all are always telling me something fresh, something new, something exciting. Well, that's what I'm trying to give you with these changes. And, purists are going to be pissed about it, but hopefully you guys will watch the movie and say, oh, I'm glad he did that. So that is my update on my latest slasher script. Next up, I got an email from a friend and a fan who emails me all the time. We talk on Facebook 3 or 4 times a week. I consider her to be my #1 fan. She's really cool. And she asked me if I would do a segment on the show this week, where Thursday is Thanksgiving, and list 5 things that I'm thankful for this year. So here they are. I am thankful for my health. A lot of things have gone on in the past year. I lost my brother in April, and it really made me sit back and look at my own life choices. And it's no secret, I've been a vegetarian now for almost 5 years. New Year's Day will be 5 years as a vegetarian. But I've been still having issues with my blood sugar, so I cut out pasta completely from my diet. Now, being a vegetarian and not eating pasta, what the fuck am I supposed to eat, right? But I've made conscious choices, so I'm very thankful to have my health pretty much back in check, with a little bit more to do. Next up, I am very thankful for my family, and this show is going to run long. I'm looking at the timer here. We're almost at 30 minutes already, and I still have one more segment to go through. But screw it. It's a holiday. My family is the next thing I'm thankful for. And right off the top of the bat, I'm going to get mushy here and say to my beautiful wife, Mandy, without her, I would be a fucking mess. I would be lost. She's smart. She's funny. She's beautiful. She keeps me grounded. She's my rock. And without her, none of this would be possible. When I'm off playing movie maker, she's at home with our 3 children. I'm very thankful for my 3 amazing, beautiful children. They're a chip off the old block in a lot of ways. And I've talked about it on the show before. My 3 children are all on the autism spectrum, which means, for those of you that don't know, that every day is an adventure. And every day is a different adventure. The things that aggravate my children today might not aggravate them tomorrow. The next thing I'm thankful for is my career. And the ability to make movies and write scripts and just chase a dream. And that's what's beautiful about this country. We have the ability to chase our dreams and chase that motherfucker down until you realize it. And it's great, and I love this job. I get to sit in my living room or my kitchen or my office here and think of creative ways to kill people and never go to jail. Next up, and you wouldn't think so by the way he behaves when I'm recording this show, you'll notice that my tablecloth is not on the table this week because I had to redo the show because my cat took down my tablecloth. So I'm very thankful for my cat. And I know that sounds weird, but Tad Cooper is just an amazing cat. He's just a kitten. He'll be a year old next month. And he's totally changed my life in that whenever I'm having a bad day or something goes wrong and I just need to de-stress, I pick up this little gray fur ball, hold him in my arms, and I just pet him. And he purrs and gives me kisses. I've taught him how to give hugs, and he gives me hugs all the time. So, cats are an amazing thing. They're an amazing part of our family, and I tell people all the time that Tad Cooper is my fur baby. He's one of my children. Never call him just a cat, because I'll probably punch you in your face. And I'm thankful for my cat. And lastly, number 5, and certainly not least, my fans. Because you guys and gals from across the globe have taken me into the horror community and brought me into your homes by purchasing my DVD. And without you guys, I simply cannot do this. I need fan support. I need you guys to rent my movie, to watch my movie, to buy my movie, to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, to watch this show, to watch my movie review videos. I can't be who I am without your support, so I'm very thankful for you guys, the fans, because like I said, without you guys, I'm just a guy trying to make movies. You're the ones that make me feel special. You're the ones that make Sins of Man something special. So thank you guys so much. I am truly thankful for my worldwide fan base. Lastly, this week, I want to talk about themed horror movies. Of course, everybody knows the biggest themed horror movie of all time is Halloween, of course, and Friday the 13th. Those are the most notable themed horror movies. I mean, but there's, Happy Birthday to Me, New Year's Evil, and just a plethora after Friday the 13th and Halloween that just came out with all kinds of shit. And I think they can work. Of course, Halloween works. It's the greatest movie of all time, in my opinion. Then you have Friday the 13th. That works. I think a themed horror movie needs very good writing around the day and the events and that kind of stuff. You need a very good story, and I think you need a very good backstory in a themed horror movie. The reason I bring this up is because the current project I'm working on is a themed slasher movie. No, it's not a Friday the 13th movie. It's not a Halloween movie. It's one that I don't believe has ever been done before, this particular theme. So we'll see about that when it comes out. I'm hoping it will be the next project in 2018. I have to talk to Chris about it first before I can make any kind of announcement. But when I do, you guys will be the first to know. That's all I got this week. I want to say thank you for watching the show. It really means a lot to me. I love hearing from you guys. So if you have feedback on the show, feel free. themainmorgue@gmail.com. If you have questions about ordering a movie from me, wickedcarnivalproductions@gmail.com. I will see you guys on Saturday with another indie movie review. I'm not sure what it's going to be this week. I have a whole plethora of movies over there from Horror Pack, so we'll pick one, we'll watch it, and I'll review it for you guys on Saturday. Take care, everybody that's celebrating this week. Happy Thanksgiving. Stay humble, stay hungry, everybody. I'll see you guys on Saturday.